Okay, now we're going to look at the Excel part of the paper. And again, we need to take care to read the blurb at the start, so we know that we're going to be using dollars and 2 decimal places. So first of all, let's open up the file N14 invoice. And the first thing to do is to ensure that we save it as a Excel workbook. Well, that didn't go too well. That's a bit better. Just take care to make sure you get the pathway correct. Okay. I'm going to merge. Want to search right mouse button and then merge. Wants to be white. And then 16 fonts. And I'm going to choose New Times Roman as the serif font. And the background needs to be a grey colour and right aligned. Oh no, I need to read the question carefully. Centre aligned. It's these ones that need to be right aligned. I need to write in my candidate and name and centre details. And in cell B11, so just double click. So in B11, so I want to count the number of items. So I know it's going to be a count function, but here I can see that there's several different types of counts. So count counts the number of cells that contain a number, and none of them do, so I'm going to get the answer 0. Count A counts the number of cells in the range that are not empty, well, in which case that would give me 5, which is the correct answer. You notice here we have count blank and count if, which are also useful. So count A, these values, and we have the answer 5. Now we need to do the total units in this invoice. Well, the total units is going to be a very simple sum function. So we're just going to sum up all these numbers. Now, the next question. Open the contents of N14. So oops, N14, opened the wrong one. So I'm going to copy these. And put it into cell okay. Now, next question is I want to highlight these. Actually, from A31. That's why it's important to read the questions. So, right mouse button and define the name. And the name should be type. So now, from wherever on the computer, wherever on the spreadsheet, the computer type. Okay, so hide rows 30 to 39. question 12. We want to look up the type of cycle. Okay, so equals, and we're going to use the VLOOKUP, and the VLOOKUP, so the value, I'm looking for this code, so you can see in here, in cell B20 contains M0027, so I'm looking for that. Where am I looking for it? I'm looking for it in that named range, I just made it. I want to have the second column returned, so in this case I want column 2, and here I'm going to put false. Now this hasn't worked, and there's a reason for it. If I unhide, you can see in here that my code is in alphabetical order. So normally when we do our VLOOKUP, we put this as false by default because we want to find an exact match. But in this case there is no M0027, so I want to actually find the closest match, and I'll do that by changing my false to true, and now it's found mountain. Okay, I could have arrived at a more complicated answer by using a left function to find M, and then just looking for the M. Okay, it's quite important, you need to get your head round how that true or false part of the VLOOKUP works. Okay, now this time we're going to have a look up the unit cost in the M14 code cost. So if I start again with my VLOOKUP, so I'm going to have a look for this code, and I'm going to have a look in the table M14 cost. If I click here, I won't be able to find the M14 cost because it's not open, so I need to close this down. I need to open up the cost, and here you can see this time that the codes are actually individually done. So this time I'm looking for the value, the table array, so I need to make my own new table up, so I want to say and if you find what I'm looking for, I want to return the second column. Okay, just to make sure this time I want an exact match, so I'm going to write in false. So now calculate the total sum for this, so it'll be the cost times how many units. Okay. In question 16 then, we want to find out the subtotal, so it equals sum so we want the individual ones added together. Okay, now we're going to have a discount amount, so they're going to get discount A, so they're going to get this discount, okay, if less than 5 units are sold. Now, if they're going to get discount B if between 5 and 19 are sold, and discount C if 20 or more are sold. So we know it's an if statement, so we start off with our if statement. So we're going to say, first of all, we don't need to count up how many units are here. We're talking about the total amount that's sold. That's this cell here. So what we want to know is if that is less than 5, the total or false. What if it's not 5? Well, we're going to do another if statement, and we're going to say that if the amount now is than 9, I could have gone for is less than or equal to 19 in this regard. I don't have to worry about the
fact that the number is greater than 5, because I wouldn't be getting to this if statement unless the number is greater than 5. If it was less than 5, I would have just times by discount A. So what to do if it's true, if it is less than 20, and therefore between 5 and 19? Well, we're going to times the subtotal by discount B. Okay, and discount C is if 20 or more is sold. So if it's not been less than 5 and it's not been less than 20, it must be greater than 20. So I don't need to worry about another if statement here. I just need to say, oh, okay, well, in this regard, it's going to be the subtotal times discount C. And there's my my if statement. So I'm basically saying is B12 less than 5. If it is less than 5, times by B15. If it's not less than 5, check to see if it's less than 20. Ergo, between 5 and 19. If it is, then times by discount B. And if it's not less than 20, it must be greater than 20, so therefore times by discount C. My invoice total will then be the subtotal minus the discount. Now I need to apply appropriate formatting to the numeric cells, so I just need to have a look and go, okay, this should be dollars. So I choose currency, and I just scroll down until I find the US dollars. For the same. Again. On the left of the header, enter this date followed by a space followed by the automatic date. Date, and on the right side okay, now we need to show our formulas. So we'll go to formulas. We'll click on show formulas. We'll make sure we can see all the formulas. Then file, then we're going to go to our page setup, because I want to make it landscape. I want it to fit to one page. Now in this case, it's asking to see the row and column headings, and 2 pages wide. So I go back in, and it is fits to 2 pages wide. I go to the sheet, and I want the row and column headings. And then I would print that out. Okay, now I need to print it out just using the values, but on a portrait page. So I'll print it off. I would untick my formulas. I would make sure I can see everything again. I go to print. I could change the orientation here, but I'm going to go to, and this time it's on a single page. So I can go to my page setup and instead of 2 pages, 1 page. Now the customer's changed one item of the order, so instead of 5 roadsters and 3 cycles, they now require 10. So the roadster 3, they want 5, they want 10. Oops. So I just change it to 10. The spreadsheet updates automatically, and then we'll just go and print off that. Okay, now the the manager would like to change the discounts because I might have missed off that about doing the formulas here. So that would be 7%. Okay, instead of 10%, that would be 12%. And the last one is 18%. Okay, you should understand how those are percentages. If you wanted to see them as a percent, we could just click onto the percentage sign. Okay, you'll also see that the formulas have the spreadsheet automatically updated, and then we'll just print off that again for the examiners.